Hi everyone, my name is Marwan Lakani and welcome back to my Java tutorials. So in this channel, I make Java videos every week or every weekend. So if you're new here, consider subscribe. Okay, so in today's video, I'm gonna be teaching you guys in Java array that we always use often in Java programming. Okay, so first of all, what is the Java array? Well, basically, the Java array is used to store multiple values in just a single variable. So what I mean by that, it means that int I or int I is equals to 5, okay? Semicolon. So instead of just storing a single value in a single variable, in by using array you can store a lot of values, like multiple values, by just separating them by a comma. But if you write it like this, well, obviously it's gonna give you an error, but this was just an example to explain it to you guys. But in reality we write it totally different than this one. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so how do we write the Java array? So it depends. So like what I mean by that, like if you want to write like the integer, if you want to store multiple integer values, then you have to write int a, and then with the variable you have to write the square brackets and then is equals to curly braces. Yeah, just like that, and obviously semicolon to mark the end of the statement. Int a square brackets is equals to, in the curly braces you simply have to write any random values that you want. So I chose 15, 32, 45, 67, 43, 12. So yeah, I'm literally just choosing these random values. Okay, so once you're done by just writing or typing these random values, that now let's proceed to the next step. The next step is to print these values, like these whole values. So how are we gonna do that? Well, check this out. So look, if you try to print these values by just printing the variable a, then check what is gonna happen if you try to do that. It's gonna print this weird text that you won't be able to understand. Well, basically this is just an address about yeah, this is just an address for these values that like, but Java won't print this for you. Like it will just print the address of these values. So yeah, it may seem like a weird text for you, but in reality, it's just a simple add. It's just like a complicated address like that you won't be able to understand, but the computer can understand. Okay, now yeah. So as I mentioned, you shouldn't be supposed to do that, or you aren't supposed to do that because it will bring the address. So how can I print it if I can't print directly? So how can I print it? Well, I have to use the for loop. So it's gonna keep incrementing, so it's gonna keep printing 15, 32, 45, 67, 43, 12, 5,478, 6,545, just like that. Okay, so for inside the parentheses you can write int I or any variable name that you want. So int I is equals to, or maybe I'm gonna choose int x is equals to 5, and then x, the variable, is less than a. So not less than a, less than a dot length. So if you don't know what this a dot length is, well, don't worry, I'm gonna be explaining to you guys in a sec. So x plus plus for the incrementation. Now look, this a dot length is basically used to calculate the whole length of these values. So what I mean by the length, it means that it's gonna automatically calculate like how many numbers there are. So it means like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like yeah, like it will calculate for you automatically, not manually. But if you want to calculate manually, then you have to right? The numbers that you counted. Also, by the way, you have to count it from 0 because it starts from the index, and when it starts from 0, we call it the index. So x is less than a dot length, so the length, like the length of these whole values. And then incrementation, so it's gonna keep incrementing. So it's, first of all, it's gonna print 15, and then it's gonna print 32, and then it's gonna print 45, 67, etc. Now what we simply have to do, we have to print it out, obviously, right? Yes. So system.out.println parentheses. No, you shouldn't. Yeah, you aren't supposed to be falling for that trap again. Because look, it will keep printing the same address like 4 times, no, like 3 times. Yeah, so it will keep printing the same address like 3 times, which is not cool at all, because you don't want this weird like this weird text or this address to be printed out, right? You want these values to be printed out, right? So for that, I have a solution. So the solution is that you have to right in the square brackets. So square brackets is basically used like for the array. So here, look, I used and the square brackets to represent that I'm trying to use an array. So a and then square brackets like just for the array. Okay, so a and then x in the square brackets x. So a x, so it means that it's gonna print the like the a, like the address, but then x. So the x is the length of these whole values, right? So then it's gonna convert the address into the number, so into these numbers, and it's simply just gonna print these numbers together by just mixing them up. Look, it's just gonna simply print these whole numbers. Wait, what? Why is it printing only these numbers? Oh, I know. Sorry. Not int x is equals to 5. Int x is equals to 0. Okay, now look. Voila, it printed out for you these whole values vertically. But if you don't want it vertically, don't worry. You just have to remove this ln. So ln basically means that it's gonna print in a new line. So if you want it horizontally in just a single line, then you just have to write system.out.print. Now look, this might look like a very confusing number, right? Like a very, very big number, like a billion or million stuff. So instead of doing that, you have to write plus, and then in the quotation marks, you have to write semicolon, the comma, sorry. So to separate these numbers, now look, now it's understandable, right? Look, before and after. Now it's separating these values by a comma, which is understandable, because here it looked like it was a very, like a really big number, but here now we can see so the values are separated, these are different values, which is cool, right? Now the same thing goes for string arrays. So string arrays is used to store text, multiple text, in just a single variable. So this was the array, like the array for integer values to store multiple integer values. But now we're gonna be storing multiple string values. So for that, what do we simply have to do? We have to write string and then any variable name that you want. For example, y, and then square brackets. Don't forget to put the square brackets because it's useful for the array. And then square brackets, semicolon, as usual. Now you have to write the text. Now to write the text, you simply have to write it inside the quotation marks, like the double quotation marks, okay? So yeah, and in the double quotation marks, so text, oh sorry, not text, You have to, yeah, any random text, like for example car. And then also, by the way, it's the same thing goes for the string, so you have to separate those strings by a semicolon. So semicolon, no, not semicolon, sorry, the comma. So car, comma, and then another quotation mark, book, comma, laptop, comma, future, comma, grass, comma, programming, and just like that. Now once you're done writing your values, like your string values, then what you simply have to do, you have to print it out. But don't fall for this trap again, the system.out.println trap, like the address. No, just simply write the for loop, just like we did previously. So for int any variable name, like for example a is oh no, a we already using, so we're gonna be using b is equals to 0. So and then b is less than by dot length, so it's gonna calculate the length of these texts. So it's gonna start from 0, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the length is 5 or 6. But if you calculate by 1, it's 6. But if you calculate on the index, it's 5. And b is less than y dot length, semicolon, and then b plus plus. So b plus plus, okay? Now, once you're done doing that, what you simply have to do, you have to write, you just have to print it out. Now, yeah, so do not fall for the trap again to print just the variable b, because it's gonna print the address. Look. Wait. Sorry. Yeah, look. Now instead, it won't print the address in the string, but for the string, it's not gonna print the address, okay? But instead, it's gonna print the integer, like the length. It's gonna print the length. So the length of it's 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it printed out 5. But you never wanted 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be printed out, right? You wanted car, book, laptop, future, grass, programming to be printed out, right? So for that, you have to do the same thing. B, square brackets. Oh no, sorry, not B. Yeah. You have to write Y, square brackets, B. No, I'm sorry, I did like the whole thing wrong. So yeah, so if you just write the Y, the variable Y, then it's gonna print you. Yeah, look, it also printed out for you the address of the string. So it always prints out the address if you just try to directly print the variable y. But if you put it inside the square brackets and then write the variable of your for loop, which is b for me, then it's gonna print for you the 15, 32, 45, 67, 43, 12. These are these whole values, and then it's gonna print the text, like the string text. So car, book, laptop, future, grass, programming. Now we can also do it in just a single line, and then we can separate our text by a comma, and just like that. Oops. We need to write the system.out.println and then semicolon, and yeah, and voila, look, 15, 32, 45, 67, 43, 12, 5,478, 6,545, car, book, laptop, future, grass, programming. And look, and also it's forming like a right angle triangle, right? Look, it's like forming like a right angle triangle, which seems like yeah, which is cool. Okay, and yeah guys, that was it for my video. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell too, so that you won't miss out any of my videos. And yeah guys, have a nice day. Bye.